25 to 8. Poor Miller for Julian this week. Now then, the number of people donating organs in the UK has fallen for the first time in more than a decade, which is not great news considering that every day 3 people die who are in need of a transplant. Across Hampshire, there are 260 people waiting for a transplant. In Dorset, there are 99 people waiting. In Hampshire, 85 people received an organ last year from someone who had died, and in Dorset, 47 people received a transplant. Now, according to NHS Blood and Transplant, only 58% of people agree to organ donation after a family member has died. They say they are desperate for new donors. Now, in a moment, we'll hear from a Dorset teenager called Risa, who had a kidney transplant. But first, we're going to hear from her mum, Sue, who tells us her story from the moment Risa was diagnosed to the moment they received news that a transplant was on its way.
Risa was diagnosed with steroid-resistant nephrotic syndrome. So there are few children with it, but in Risa's case, she was steroid-resistant. So it was even more complicated one to treat. She was getting more and more ill. She was admitted every 2 to 3 weeks. She couldn't even walk. She was very puffy. She used to miss a lot of school, and it was really scary. 2014 was really, really painful for her, with different major surgeries and lots of hospitalization. She needed a kidney because her kidneys were failing. It was doing more harm than good. Risa was on a dialysis for a whole year. We weren't sure what's going to happen because as we are Asians, they said it will be more difficult to get a donor, and we don't know what was going to happen to our little girl. Our life was just a standstill. It was really upsetting. We got the news from the donor that he wants to donate his kidney. We were numb. We didn't know. We were shocked. We couldn't believe that we are hearing this. That somebody, actually, a gentleman who came forward to say he wants to donate his kidney to my daughter.
We can actually speak to Risa now. Risa, good morning to you.
Morning.
Morning. Now then, you spent a year on dialysis after having your kidneys removed following a diagnosis of steroid-resistant nephrotic syndrome. Tell us exactly what that is.
It's the scarring of the kidneys, but like Mum said, mine was steroid-resistant, so I wasn't even responding to steroids.
And of course, it's important to remember that you were only 12 years old. So how did you cope with all the school, the growing pains, your teenage years, and having to deal with this as well?
Well, it was very difficult. I missed a lot of school. I had really low attendance, and I had to always catch up, and I was behind. And I missed my friends, I missed school trips, and I had diet restrictions as well. So I couldn't go out with friends and things like that.
And of course, this is the time in your life when that's exactly what you would want to be doing, going out with friends, meeting new friends, enjoying yourself and starting out, your life, as it were.
Yeah.
Tell me something, was organ donation the only way that your health could improve? Was it the only solution?
Well, I could have stayed on dialysis, but that was the only option I had.
I mean, were these various options put to you? I mean, obviously, were you asked if you would rather stay on dialysis? I mean, I know that I've spoken to people in the past who just could not go through the whole process, and so therefore they were happy just to stay as they were until maybe they were a little bit older. Was that something you considered?
Well, dialysis is a lot more. It takes a lot of time, and there's a lot more complications.
And of course, one of the things it's fair to point here, as your mum was just mentioning, because you're a British Asian, the wait for a suitable transplant can be much, much longer. As a result of that, did you think that you'd ever get one, or were you convinced that it just wasn't going to happen?
I didn't think it would happen so soon. So when we did hear the news, I was really surprised and really shocked.
I mean, across Dorset, there are currently these figures are quite amazing, over 300,000 people that are registered on the organ donor register. However, NHS Blood and Transport say they need far, far more to sign up. Your parents have joined the register since your illness. How important do you think it is to have donors like this?
It's very important. Without organ donation, people like me would be dependent depending on machines to survive. It's really important to sign up to the register. The donor can give a new life to recipients, and it can be the answer to someone's prayers.
Have you found that a number of your friends as well have also done the same thing? They've signed up after meeting you and seeing what you've been through?
A few of them.
How do your friends take it? I mean, bearing in mind, you know, you're still young, you've got your life ahead of you. How do your friends react to what has been going on?
Well, they've always been really supportive and helped me. And they even when I'm in hospital, they keep in contact and see how I'm doing. So I've had a lot of help and support from them.
Okay, and long may it continue. I wish you well, and thank you so much for talking to us this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you. 15-year-old Risa Romy from Dorchester, who spent a year in and out of hospital on dialysis waiting for a kidney transplant after she fell ill. And it's fair to say that her parents and brothers and sisters have since joined the NHS organ donor register. It is amazing, you know, when you think about it, how many people are always willing to do what they think is the right thing. People will discuss this. Yep, I'm going to join up. But do they actually join up? That's sometimes a very different thing. We'll be discussing that a little bit later on.